We are heading out now to go watch Lord of the Rings of Power in a movie theater. I'm very stoked about it. Our dogs are not happy that we're leaving, but very excited. Are you very excited? Woo!
Hey, John, I think you could get with the program a little, huh?
Oh, yes, John. I'm so excited. I can't wait to watch The Rings of Power. I'm not going to say LOTR at the beginning. This has nothing to do with those great films and those books from Professor J.R.R. Tolkien, who, by the way, yesterday marked the anniversary of his death. But of course, what does Amazon do? They release this show on that date anyway, just to be more blasphemous than ever. What is really funny though, I have to talk about this. Jeff Bezos declared, "Do you hear me? I want my own Game of Thrones, and I want it now." And what is this show up against? House of the Dragon, which I wasn't going to watch, but everybody is saying to me, go ahead and watch it, dude. Don't worry about the diverse changes they made in the show. It is still a lavish show to watch, and it's still $30 million cheaper than each episode for the Rings of Power. So yeah, while I'm talking to you, I'm actually downloading House of the Dragon episodes 1 and 2. Oh my god, can we just start off with Lenny Henry, the elephant in the room? I'm not talking about Lenny Henry's weight, but I'm pretty sure he's a hefty dude by now, but when he steps out from the undergrowth, what am I immediately reminded of? Of course, Joey Tribbiani from Friends, the whole fart acting scenario when he was Dr. Drake Remore. That's my guy, and the fart acting is in full effect in this first episode, probably for the rest of the series as well.
You take this big pause where you look all intense, you know, like this.
Okay.
And the exchange, the whole dick measuring exchange between Morfydd Clark's Galadriel and Elrond. And it reminded me of Batman Begins because he says something to her which reminded me of that movie.
It was not your company who defied you out there, but rather you who defied the High King.
It's not who I am underneath, but what I do that defines me.
It's like J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay just went through movies and thought, hey, you know what? Let's have that. Let's steal that line. Let's repurpose it. Nobody's going to notice. But somebody like me did notice. So what does that tell you if I'm picking up on that? And that blatant Wonder Woman ripoff from... oh my god, that fight with the ice troll. I mean, that poor snow troll minding its own business, but you know, it takes an insufferable female to invade his sanctity. He turns on her and he gets slain in 2 swipes of a sword. Are you kidding me? Really? That's how we're going to do it? Is it for the modern age? That's what we're going to tell our family audience, that it's okay for an insufferable female bitch like her to come on in and do what she wants to do without any permission, any kind of courtesy, nothing for it. Just got me erect. Nothing gave me an orgasm. I'll watch Fellowship of the Ring. That has got many nerdgasmic moments within it, too many to count. I can think of Viggo Mortensen as the Ranger when we see him in the, is it the Shallow Pony? Just having smoking on his pipe and looking based as hell. And the hobbits are looking really terrified of him. The Prancing Pony, that's it, yeah, I knew I'll get there in the end. Can't wait to watch that again today. I mean, the fact that this TV show is driving me back to watch that again. Look, let's not kid ourselves, right? right? You know, when we heard about this show being made for Amazon, I wasn't excited because you know what? The original trilogy, when it ended, it ended. Of course, we were then fooled later on when The Hobbit was going to be released, and I thought, oh God, okay, here we go. Because very much like Marvel's Endgame, when that ended, you kind of thought it was all over. And I guess we've seen the remnants of what's happened there. But you know what I find absolutely hilarious about this first episode? Sophia Nomvete was not in this. I think she's in the second episode. And quite shockingly, I've heard good things about her performance, which is a shame if it's true, because the activist campaigning leading up to the show was definitely a lot of damage done by that point. And again, my video shorts have kind of, you know, proven that. They've been well received by many people who have seen them, and I really appreciate each and every one of you for doing that. But Ishmael Cruz Cordova, he does a good English accent, and that's where you kind of draw the line, because after that, you really can't accept him as anything else. Yeah, he claims to have seen the original films, and then his point of view was, well, now that I've seen Orlando Bloom as that elf, I'm going to take that vision away from you, and you're going to accept me and my perfectly faded side cuts as the new version going forward. Well, listen, Ishmael Cordova, Cruz Cordova, I've got news for you, buddy. You know Orlando Bloom, you know Legolas. You might be a substitute, but it's like me saying I'm the new Brad Pitt, because I'll get laughed off stage, you know? So, you know, for you to kind of make that broad claim that it's going to be elves of color from now on, then perhaps maybe go and watch Highlander, where a Spanish king is played by a white Scotsman called Sean Connery. I mean, deal with that, bitch. Oh my God, this episode was just, it was a trial and tribulation. The Harfoots bring nothing of excitement of any value to this episode or to the world that Tolkien created. Well, not in his filmic version anyway, definitely not. It's just absolutely awful with what they do with the Harfoots, who are hiding from these two hunters that have got like Rocky and Bullwinkle antlers on their heads. I did not see the point of that. If somebody can explain why that's even a purpose, if that was even written in Silmarillion, do let me know, because I just thought it was comedic genius. Of course, one of the hunters was diversity just thrown in there for the sake of it, and he was made to look like the stupid one because, you know, his white counterpart was telling him, oh yeah, the Harfoots, they're dangerous, you know, you don't want to be anywhere near them in his neck of the woods. And, you know, our hunter of colour was like, he was really terrified. And it was just a very bad misfire. Also, you got female Frodo and female Sam, the Harfoots. One of them falls into the mud and has dark face. So I'm not sure what point you're trying to make there. It's just very, very on the nose. Well, literally it was on their nose. No. And then you kind of had this kind of gay frolicking going around. I'm like, oh my God, what is going on here? I have no problem about gay themes in TV shows. You see a lot. You saw it in True Blood. You saw it in most shows in the mid-noughts onward. But when it comes to Tolkien, why do people feel they have to LGBT it? Why? I blame Tumblr. You saw those cringy Sam and Frodo frolickings and, you know, the whole gay ship thing. It's so stupid. I mean, you get people like Grace Randolph who talk about the fact that Rings of Power didn't take any risks with the LGBT themes of his characters because J.R.R. Tolkien was a devout Roman Catholic and that wasn't on his agenda, in his agenda. Well, why would it be, Grace? The guy fought in the trenches in the First World War. He was basing on the world that he saw, he studied.
However, interestingly, and tragically, there are no LGBT characters in all of the Lord of the Rings because J.R.R. Tolkien was a devout Roman Catholic.
But why would Tolkien embrace that? Because that wasn't on his mindset. He's probably made aware of it, but why would it be on his mindset? People say, well, you had Sir Ian McKellen, a gay actor, playing Gandalf the Grey. But my argument will be, or my counter offer would be, well, look at it this way. I was very well aware of Sir Ian McKellen well before he was cast as Gandalf. Not one person came forward and went, you can't have that man playing him, he's gay. No, he's just a great stage, film, TV actor. That's it. When I saw his performance as Gandalf the Grey, my favourite iteration of Gandalf, by the way, I never thought, oh, is this a gay guy? I can see the gayness coming out of the wizard's wand. All I saw was a fun-loving wizard, probably chased by choice of the actor or by writing of Tolkien. That's all I saw. Why do we now have to revisit characters like Frodo and Samwise Gamgee and imply and make them female? So there you go. You can't create original female characters, can you, Amazon? JD Payne and Patrick McKay. You can't create brand new female characters. You just bastardize great male characters that we know and love and make them female. But look, I want to conclude this video today with this Rotten Tomato situation regarding this show. So I understand there may have been more reviews in favor of this, and that's been led to believe, but it's been review bombed apparently. So we have, right, this score, you can't see here, maybe if I go back one notch you'll probably see it then, 84%, right, against an audience score of 35%. So if we just click on the 84 here, oh, here we go. Now this is interesting. Before I shot this video, I saw 2 reviews. Now we've got a third from Sarah Ward. So Liz Shannon Miller, she says, despite pacing issues, the new Prime series captures much of what made Jackson's original trilogy so captivating. So what are you trying to say there, Liz? Are you trying to say the Peter Jackson original trilogy may have had pacing issues? Because they didn't. The extended editions, in fact, add a lot more value and context to everything that's going on. Kevin Carr, fat guys in the movies, lavish and high on action. No, just boring action, generic action, mate. I don't know what the fuck you've been drinking. There's a lot to juggle in this series, which is still a bit heavy on the setup. In other words, it drags and drags and drags. Sarah Ward from the Concrete Playground, we don't care about that website. Sumptuous sights aren't the only draw card that the Rings of Power boasts, proving epic in all the expected ways, and yet also thrilling via its own surprises. What, you mean the insufferable Galadriel, played by the insufferable activist herself, Morfydd Clark? Speaking of activists, yes, her name, Nazanin Boniadi, the forbidden love interest of one Ishmael Cordova. That was hilarious to watch. I remember seeing Boniadi in Homeland as Farah. She was great in that. Do you know why? Because she was given great dialogue and great writing to go along with. She proved she can be a great actress in a show like that. In something like this, which is basically the lazy man, lazy woman's version of acting. Here's lots of money. Make sure you follow the agenda. You're going to get backlash, but do it. Here's a nice paycheck, pay off your mortgage, away you go. So that's pretty much the sinister stuff that's going on in terms of the acting that goes on with this show here. That is the current Metascore for the Rings of Power on Metacritic. Generally favourable reviews based on 37 critic reviews. Okay, fair enough. But hang on a second. Right, on these... Okay, right, yeah, so here we go. So they all start from 100, and as you progress on down, like the lowest critic score I can see here, would it be? I was hoping it was going to be 69. Boston Globe giving it a 60. The first hour of the show, the series reportedly cost a record-breaking $58 million an episode. It's a little more than a series of action set pieces with fancified language, very, very true, and British accents. No, it's Irish and Cornish accents. I mean, Lenny Henry does an Irish accent. I mean, I think my attempt at it was a lot better. Seriously, it really was. The Telegraph, the sweep and the scope are in place. The Lord of the Rings had a single simple plot: get the ring in the fire. There's less of that here. The scene setting keeps getting interrupted by action sequences. So probably what Jeff Robinson is saying here is, I'd rather watch the scenery or paint dry than what's going on with the actors beneath. I mean, that says it much to me. So it does get a bit less with the Washington Post. The performances are serviceable but unremarkable. What a shocker. The dialogue is corny and inartful, maybe infartful, I'll probably say. But the ones I'm really more interested in are people like you and me. So let's go back to this one. Oh, 2.3, generally unfavorable. Oh, now that's what I want to see here, man. Amazon has vandalized Tolkien's legacy with this show. The familiar characters have been completely perverted from how Tolkien wrote them. Absolutely true. Key things to remember: this is not Tolkien's material. It's a fake story that Amazon completely made up based on like 2 offhand sentences in Lord of the Rings. So it's not a true reflection of the real LOTR. It's just silly modernist deconstruction by people who would hate Tolkien even if they met him in real life. Oh God. It's a waste. So Rocker 9800 says the show is a waste of time and money. The dialogues are dull and boring. They are nothing in comparison to the original films and the dialogue in the books. It's true. It's so true. Will I stick it out through episode 2? I don't know. I may do. I might give you another video, folks. Beyond that, I don't think I can. I'm going to watch House of the Dragon, give you a normie perspective on those, and we'll see where it goes from there, folks. But if you enjoyed this video today, make sure you give it a like below. Make sure you slap that share button as far and wide as the mountains can see. And if I were you, and if you were me, I will check out the next video that shall not pass.
Like and subscribe, or get your nuts Krogan crushed.